Ambassador Veltar had spent 40 cycles preparing for first contact with the species that called themselves humans. The Confederation's Xenological Department had analyzed their primitive radio transmissions, studied their basic mathematical concepts, and concluded that these bipedal mammals showed promise for peaceful integration into galactic society. The humans appeared to be a young species, barely having achieved faster-than-light travel. Their technology was crude but functional, their social structures chaotic but creative. Most encouraging of all, their early transmissions spoke frequently of peace, cooperation, and the dream of joining a larger cosmic community. Veltar's diplomatic vessel, the Harmony of Spheres, approached the human solar system with all proper protocols activated. The ship itself was a work of art, a crystalline structure that sang with harmonic frequencies, designed to appear beautiful and non-threatening to any species that encountered it. Its weapons were minimal, its shields purely defensive. Everything about the vessel communicated peaceful intent. Initiating first contact procedures, announced Navigator Kethrim, his secondary arms dancing over the control crystals. Broadcasting universal mathematical sequences and peaceful greeting protocols across all frequencies. Veltar adjusted his ceremonial robes, each thread woven with the blessing songs of a dozen species who had joined the Confederation peacefully. Today would mark another successful diplomatic contact, another species welcomed into the galactic community through patience and understanding. The human response came faster than expected. Unknown vessel, this is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. You are entering restricted space. State your intentions and prepare for escort to designated first contact protocols. Veltar's translator matrix processed the words, but something in the human's tone sent a chill through his gill slits. There was no wonder in her voice, no awe at meeting another intelligent species for the first time. Just crisp, military efficiency. Greetings, Admiral Chen, Veltar responded through the communication array. I am Ambassador Veltar of the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace to welcome humanity into the greater cosmic community. We are prepared to begin standard diplomatic exchanges. Copy that, Ambassador. Maintain current heading. You'll be met by our first contact vessel momentarily. Veltar settled back in his meditation alcove, pleased. The humans were being cautious but cooperative, exactly what the protocols recommended for a species' first encounter with galactic civilization. Then the sensors began screaming. Ambassador. Kethrim's voice cracked with stress. Massive energy signature approaching. I've never seen readings like this. On the main display, space itself seemed to tear open. What emerged defied every principle of aesthetic ship design that governed civilized species. The human vessel was a monument to violence, angular, brutal, and impossibly massive. It bristled with weapon arrays that could probably crack a moon in half. Its hull was scarred black metal that seemed to devour light, and it moved through space like a predator stalking prey. Sweet, merciful void, whispered Navigation Officer Thisra. What is that thing? The human vessel dwarfed even the largest Confederation dreadnoughts. But more terrifying than its size was its design philosophy. Where civilized ships curved gracefully through space, this monster was all sharp edges and aggressive angles. Where proper vessels glowed with warm, welcoming lights, this ship seemed to radiate darkness. Unknown vessel, came Admiral Chen's voice again, now emanating from the approaching Leviathan. Welcome to the Sol System. I am Admiral Chen, aboard the UTDF Retribution. Please follow our navigation guidance to the designated diplomatic zone. Veltar tried to maintain his composure, but his species' natural bioluminescence was flickering with distress patterns. Admiral, may I inquire, is this your standard diplomatic vessel? A pause. Then something that might have been amusement in the human's voice. Oh no, Ambassador. This is a warship. Our diplomatic vessels are much smaller. But given that this is first contact with an unknown alien species, we thought it prudent to send something with a bit more presence. Kethrim's readings showed that the human ship's weapons weren't even powered up. They were operating under minimal threat status. This was them being diplomatic. Your vessel is quite impressive, Veltar managed. Thank you. The Retribution is actually one of our smaller dreadnoughts. I may ask, Veltar said carefully, what do you use such substantial vessels for? Peacekeeping mostly, Admiral Chen replied matter-of-factly. Asteroid mining operations, planetary defense, the usual things. Oh, and we have a bit of a piracy problem in the outer colonies, so we need ships that can respond with appropriate force. Piracy problem, as if entire fleets of criminals were something to dismiss casually. I see, Veltar said weakly. And your mining operations require such heavily armed vessels. Well, some of the asteroids we work are in contested territory. And then there are the space fauna. Some of them get quite aggressive during mating season. Last month, a pack of void krakens tried to mate with one of our mining stations. Took 3 dreadnoughts to convince them to move along without hurting anyone. Veltar exchanged glances with his crew. Void krakens were legendary deep space predators that most species avoided at all costs. Humans apparently shooed them away from mining operations as a minor inconvenience. The diplomatic meeting proceeded according to standard protocols, but the context had shifted entirely. When Veltar began his prepared speech about the benefits of joining the Confederation, access to established trade routes, cultural exchange, shared scientific knowledge, Admiral Chen listened politely, but without the enthusiasm he'd expected. That all sounds very interesting, Ambassador, she said when he finished. We'd definitely be open to cultural and scientific exchange. Though I should mention that our current technology development is proceeding quite rapidly. We've just achieved practical antimatter containment, and our xenobiology department is making remarkable advances in genetic adaptation technologies. Veltar's confidence took another blow. Most species required centuries of guidance to develop antimatter safely. Humans had apparently figured it out on their own, along with genetic technologies that skirted the edge of what the Confederation considered ethically acceptable. As for trade routes, Admiral Chen continued, we are actually in the process of establishing our own network. We've made contact with several species in neighboring systems, and the economic partnerships are proving quite beneficial. You've made contact with other species? Veltar asked, his diplomatic composure finally cracking. Oh yes. The Altarians were very helpful in establishing our first interstellar mining consortium. The Vegan Collective has been eager to trade their